James Woods stars in Shark tonight on CBS.
It is the game of the year and a possible Super Bowl preview. Tom Brady and the Patriots lead the NFL in scoring, while Tony Romo and the Cowboys feature the league's top-ranked offense. Both quarterbacks will be looking to go deep to their respective 81s. New England's rejuvenated Randy Moss and Dallas's explosive Terrell Owens. Coming up, the unbeaten Patriots against the undefeated Cowboys here on CBS. And hello, everyone. I'm James Brown. Welcome to Week 6, a big doubleheader here on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. I'm joined by the handsome one, Dan Marino, Coach Bill Cowher with a Super Bowl ring, 3 Super Bowl trophies with Shannon Sharp, and multimedia himself, an ultimate quarterback. Boomer Esiason, New England and Dallas. Well, you know what? But he is multimedia. He's all over the place. But this is the game that everybody's been talking so much about. Shannon, I know you have some thoughts on this matchup. Due to the magnitude of the game's high volume of questions for the original SS, I will be taking all questions about the New England-Dallas game immediately following segment 1.
Get your popcorn ready.
You think it's going to be that good?
You know what? It's because you're just in last place. It's because you're in last place, right? That's why.
In the big segment.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, the whole thing about it is, I know it's the biggest game of the year. There's no question about that. But you know what? There are some other games that we also have to pay attention to. 3 teams in particular, Minnesota, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia. All teams are 1-3. All teams had playoff hopes when the season started, and all 3 teams are on the road in very difficult situations. And then, of course, you have the New York Jets at 1-4 right now, guys. That are at home. They are against Philadelphia. Chad Pennington on the ropes right now. If they don't win, I'm telling you right now, their season is over.
Hey, guys, you know, the big game today, Dallas and New England, and you're looking at both of these quarterbacks and who's really going to be under the pressure. And it's got to be Tony Romo, because the fact that he's only started 17 games, and he looks at the defense that he has on his side of the ball that give up a lot of points. So, and after the fact of what he did last week, the key for him today in this big game against Tom Brady and the New England defense is to be patient. Don't try to force the ball down the field like he did last week.
And another intriguing game I think you got to look at is going to be down in Jacksonville. Houston at Jacksonville. You're talking about the AFC South. They've lost 1 game outside the division. This could have playoff ramifications at the end of the year. But you look at this, Houston's won both games last year by a score of 40-17. So I look at this game, Jacksonville quietly 3-1, hasn't turnovers 3, hasn't thrown an interception yet. I think this is a very intriguing game to look at, like I said, because Jacksonville is quietly running its ranks up in the AFC.
All right, go ahead, Boom.
If you have 2 games, 2 teams 5-0, if you're the coach, how do you deal with that by not making more of it than what everybody else is making of it?
Well, you know what?
And they will make more of it. I mean, they're making more of it during the course of the week. You know, they're downplaying it right now. But I'm telling you, inside those locker rooms and those coaches last night, they talked about the ramifications of this game.
But guess what? We're going to make a big deal of it. No question about that. All right. No, Shannon's going to have plenty to say. Let's run down today's CBS doubleheader lineup. Many of you will see the Titans take on the Buccaneers in today's big early contest. Elsewhere, the Bengals visit the Chiefs. The Texans tackle the Jaguars in an AFC South clash. And the Dolphins face the Browns. Then in our feature game, 2 of the 3 remaining unbeaten squads, the Patriots and the Cowboys, go head-to-head. That at Texas Stadium. Others will see the first-place Raiders, that's right, first-place Raiders, square off with the Chargers in an AFC West showdown. As we check in live at the game sites, let's get it started with the marquee matchup in Dallas, the Patriots and the Cowboys. And our colleague Phil Simms is standing by at Texas Stadium with the latest. Hello, Phil.
Hello, James. How are you today? Well, let me tell you about down here in Dallas. Been down here a few days. The excitement everywhere you go, that's all you hear. What's going to happen in this game? The Cowboy fans, they are fired up. Down here right now, it is hot. It is humid. There is a 70% chance of rain during the game today, so that could be a factor. On the injury front, For the Dallas Cowboys, Anthony Henry, he is a question mark. He plays corner. He is a game time decision. And for the New England Patriots, Lawrence Maroney, the running back, he's been out 2 weeks with a groin injury. We talked to Bill Belichick last night, and he says another game time decision. It depends on how he warms up. When you look at this game, to me, there are two big factors that I'm going to watch for early. One, for the New England Patriots, the crowd noise, the emotion, it's going to be out of control. That almost always filters down to your football team in your stadium. So we're going to see a very emotional Dallas Cowboy team to start. And for the and for the Dallas Cowboys, their problem, Tony Romo, last week, the 6 turnovers. He's been successful in this league because he's loose, aggressive, makes plays down the field. One of the big reasons why they're 5-0. Now, when you have 6 turnovers, and we got some ex-quarterbacks in the studio, it's hard to come out and be loose and aggressive. So he might turn down some big plays down the field early. Just something I think it's really important to watch and see if that happens. So that's it for everything down here in Dallas. Back to you, James.
All right, Phil, and we'll see how that unfolds. As a matter of fact, we'll have much more on that game later on, including Jim Nance's interview with Tony Romo, an excellent conversation that you don't want to miss. But now, quickly to Tampa, where the Buccaneers are very thin at running back as they host the Titans. Dan Dierdorf is there, and the question is, who's going to carry the ball for them, Dan?
JB, it's not too late for you to get down here and get a couple carries because they are in a precarious position. It has gone totally wrong at the running back situation. In preseason, they lose Mike Allstott for the season because of a neck. 2 weeks ago, it's Cadillac Williams with a knee. Last week, Michael Pittman, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with a bad ankle. So they turn to fourth-year pro Ernest Graham, who the last time he started a football game, he was still playing for the Gators at the University of Florida. And of all times, what are you going to face? Well, you're going to face an outstanding Tennessee defense. Look how they have improved from last season. They're 5th overall, 3rd against the run. And what that equates to for Tampa Bay, an awful lot of pressure on the shoulders of 37-year-old quarterback Jeff Garcia. JB?
All right, Dan, if they're looking for a 250-some-pound running back, I'm there, buddy. All right, Dan. Let's go on to Kansas City, where there's a little concern about the quarterback there, Damon Hewitt, his shoulder, which, of course, he bruised last week. Now, Hewitt will start against the Bengals today, and Rich Gannon is there. The question is, Rich, how healthy is Damon Hewitt?
Well, JB, he was healthy enough to practice all week. In fact, I got a chance to watch him and practice on Friday a little bit, and I got the sense that he was laboring on certain throws. Now, that being said, he has played well here at Arrowhead, but I think it's just a matter of time before they make the switch to second-year man Brody Croyle. He's taken a number of reps with the first team each week going back to training camp, and they really feel like he's the quarterback of the future. Now, if Damon Hewitt and this offense can't get things going in the next couple of weeks, look for them to make a change to Brody Croyle during the bye week. Now, some injury updates for the Bengals. Right tackle Willie Anderson will not play today. Running back Rudy Johnson will play, but he will not start. That's a story here from Kansas City. Back to you, JB.
All right, Rich, thank you so very much. All right, folks, over in Cleveland, the Browns will welcome the winless Dolphins, minus starting quarterback Trent Green, who, as you know, sustained a severe concussion last week. Solomon Wilcots is there. And what's the latest on the Miami quarterback situation, Solomon?
Well, JB, Trent Green did accompany his team here to Cleveland, and we told he will be present at today's game. However, his career does hang in the balance after suffering his second concussion in a span of over 13 months. It was this severe blow to the head that caused a grade 3 level concussion. We're told it's the most severe of them all. Now, with the update to Trent Green, we're told that he was told to take a full week of rest, and the reevaluation will take place on Monday, and further assessments will be made. Then the doctor said they'll set a timetable for his return. Now, with Trent Green out, in comes Cleo Lemon for a second career start. Remember, he spent 2 years under the tutelage of Cam Cameron while in San Diego, so he hopes that his experience in this offense will help him here today. As for the Cleveland Browns, we told that their running back, Jamal Lewis, will not start in today's game. He is out due to a foot injury. We're told that Jason Wright will start in his stead today, JB.
All right, Solomon, thank you very much. We saw that clip of Dan Marino, though still working down in Miami to find a replacement for Dan Marino. But in Miami, let me hear your thoughts.
JB, I'm not in the business right now of telling athletes when they should retire. I've only done it once, and that was my brother when he suffered a neck injury. But, Trent, let me make a suggestion. You might want to seriously thinking about it. As Solomon Wilcox mentioned, you suffered your second, third-degree concussion, which is the most serious of the concussion, in 13 months. This is not about football, and I understand as a professional athlete, as a football player, there is no senior circuit, so you want to make sure this is the right decision. But now this is about your family, your wife, your kids, and having a productive life after the game of football. As far as this ball game, I think Cleveland still has too much to get it done, where the Cleo Lemon, the only way Miami has a chance, and the guy sitting up here with us, he's not coming back. That's damn.
I understand that. Damn.
I'm not coming back, Sam. But in Tennessee, you know, you look at that game, Tennessee, Tampa. Jeff Fisher got to be real happy about last week, the fact that they turned it over 5 times and still won. And that's because of that defense and how they're playing. They're going to present a lot of problems. The Tampa Bay, Jeff Garcia, yeah, he's taking care of the ball, but he's got a rookie over there, Donald Penn, at left tackle. And with Kyle Vanden Bosch and Hainsworth in there, they're going to have to give him some help. So defensively, Jeff Fisher can double cover Joey Galloway. So that gives Jeff Garcia a lot of tough things to deal with today.
You know, you talk about St. Louis and Baltimore today. We're not sure whether or not Steve McNair is going to either start or whether or not he even makes it through the whole game. So I do expect to see Kyle Bowler in this game. But, you know, guys, who is the leading receiver in terms of catches thus far this season in the NFL?
Derek Mason.
Derek Mason. Can you believe that or not? But really, the object of the quarterback is to get his team into the end zone and score touchdowns. Thus far this year, Baltimore has scored 5 offensive touchdowns. That's why I think you got to make a change at quarterback no matter what, because Steve McNair is not healthy, coming off of the groin and also the back. But I do think they'll win today, and they beat up a beat-up St. Louis team.
Well, let's look at Carolina and Arizona. I think the storyline in this is going to have to be the quarterback situation. You're talking about possibly David Carr, who had a bad back. It stiffened on the plane right out. Could be a game-time decision. If he doesn't play, Vinny Testaverde.
Hey, Vinny.
Quarterbacks, Arizona, Kurt Warner. Between the two of them, 31 years of experience, 7 teams, average age of 40. Wow. I'm telling you, the question I'm asking is, when are these two guys going to get phone calls and coming out? But I think you look at this game, I think Arizona, again, is a team coming off of 2 big wins. Big game for Carolina. They got to get back to the running game. The defense has to show up. You remember Arizona right now, Warner's going to be in that pocket, so maybe this is the day Julius Peppers comes out.
I just got a phone call. My sister said, straighten my pocket square up.
Listen, Vinny, if he gets in the game, one play he has to run. That's the only play he has to run. Everybody blocks, Steve Smith get open.
Exactly right.
That's it.
I'm hoping that Boomer and Dan will talk about the phone calls they've gotten. I know they've gotten the phone calls. They just won't tell us about it. All right, folks. I hear you, partner. There is much more coming your way here on the NFL Today. Tony Romo has the perfect plan to attack Bill Belichick's defense, and you'll never guess where he found it. Washington and Green Bay off to strong starts, so what happens when they collide today? Plus, Brian Griese led the Bears over the Packers last week. Now, can he defeat another divisional rival, Minnesota? And Trent Green got knocked out by this block, but will the league knock that block out of the books? Charlie Casserly has that and more next.
Over 100 years of engineering breakthroughs. And now, a whole month of great savings. It's GMC Truck Month. Time for special deals on a huge selection of 07 models. But Truck Month only happens once a year. Don't wait another minute.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on most 07 GMC models. That's an average finance savings of $75.87 on Yukon. See their pros at your local GMC dealers.
Dad's making dinner? Oh, it'll be fine. Maybe. Yes. No way. Wow.
Who's the man?
Pizza Hut's family value meal is easy. A complete meal is just a call or a click away. Get 2 tasty medium pizzas any way you want them. Freshly baked breadsticks and sweet cinnamon sticks for just $19.99. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.
Who says I can't cook?
Get more for dinner. Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut, now online.
We need more customers. So, what? Advertise?
Ask the ad guru. Yellowbook.com. Customers know what they want, not always where to find it.
Excellent. Yellow Book.
Business is off the charts.
Wherever you look, Yellow Book.
She's driving me crazy. She's still mad at me about this purse thing.
Yeah, me too.
You too what?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Are you snurfing?
Why would I be snurfing? This is our time on the phone.
What's the score of the game?
It's tied up. I thought you was tied up.
Snurfer.
Snurfing, made possible by the Comcast Triple Play. Experience TV, phone, and internet together like never before. It's Comcastic.
passage is intense. But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Over 800 million people around the world go to bed hungry. Join the movement to stop world hunger by supporting the World Food Program. To learn more, visit our restaurants during World Hunger Relief Week or go to FromHungerToHope.com.
Tuesday, how do you catch a killer who can make himself disappear?
No trace, no face. This ought to be easy.
New NCIS. Then, every step you take.
We are in the middle of a minefield.
Could be your last.
I am not gonna die for you!
The Unit. New episode after a new NCIS. CBS Tuesday.
The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines.
And welcome back live to the NFL Today. I'm joined now by our NFL Today General Manager, Charlie Casserly, and you saw a shot there of Trent Green right there in street clothes. Charlie, what did the Dolphins tell you about Trent Green?
Well, first of all tests have come back negative, so that's good news for Trent. Trent wants to continue to play. I don't look for him in the lineup for at least a couple of weeks. In fact, when they come to week 9, which is their bye, and if they're out of playoff contention, I think they're going to seriously consider going with rookie John Beck at quarterback at that time.
Charlie, let's take a look at the hit that everybody has seen so far this week. Trent Green throwing the block on Travis Johnson. Johnson, number 99, very upset about the block thrown by Trent at his knees. And there's been a lot of discussion all week long about this type of block. Is this something that the competition committee will review?
Well, when I was on the competition committee, we actually had a discussion about eliminating all blocks below the waist. The problem was the one block that we felt you could not eliminate was when you would have this situation, the 200-pound linebacker having to block the 250-pound blitzing linebacker, or if he had to block a defensive lineman over 300 pounds. The only way he can make that block is below the waist. That's where the discussion died.
Okay, let's move on to the trade deadline, which is Tuesday. What are you hearing?
Well, two teams to look at are first of all, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a shortage of running backs, as we just talked about before. Now, two people they've talked about is Minnesota's Muelde Moore, Jacksonville's Brandon Tofield. Both teams want a third-round draft choice. Tampa Bay is not interested in that. In fact, even if they make it a fourth, I'm not sure Tampa Bay would go at that point.
Hey, Charlie, what's the latest on Tank Johnson in terms of when he will play for the Cowboys? We know he's serving an 8-game suspension, but the commissioner did indicate that he would review the matter after 6 games.
Well, first of all, you got a situation where he's got an 8-game suspension, but the Cowboys have a bye week. So really, it's 9 weeks he'll sit out. I don't believe the commissioner will shorten the suspension from 8 games to 6 weeks, or 6 games, excuse me. Tank is hoping it goes to 7 games, meaning he'll miss 8 weeks. Now, I think another possibility here is this, and maybe this is the most likely one. The league office allows Tank to begin practicing before the end of the suspension, so he's ready to play at the end of the suspension.
Charlie, as we move to talk about Kansas City, could the Chiefs actually be considering going back to the future?
Could be here. Priest Holmes, that's right, Priest Holmes. This week, the Kansas City Chiefs told me that their plan is to begin to practice Priest this week, and they expect him to be able to play this season.
And we know there was a lot of concern about Priest in terms of whether he'd be able to continue his career with a head and neck trauma. All right, New England and Dallas. You've watched tape of these two teams. What's one of the keys that you'll be looking for?
Pass rush. DeMarcus Ware, number 94, is a key in this football game. Now, when New England faces a pass rusher in the 34 defense like they did early in the season, San Diego's Merriman, they used formations to keep him in pass coverage so he couldn't rush. Dallas's philosophy, hey, we're going to rush Ware all the time. We don't care what formation you put him in. Let's take a look at some of the things they can do with DeMarcus Ware. First of all, watch him line up on the left side and come outside here and beat the blockers for a pressure on the quarterback and a forced fumble. Watch him be on the right side now and step inside and come on an inside stunt to force an incompletion, again pressure. Another move they like to do here, watch Ware. We're going to circle him. He's over the guard. Now, they move him outside here on being the farthest man in the line of scrimmage. Watch him come on a pressure from the linebacker position and force an incompletion here on the quarterback. Lastly, here's another move. Watch him line up on the left side. Is he going to rush from there? No. He's going to move all the way around to the right side here, get a little running start, get set, and now come on the Pressure from the outside. Again, here he'll get pressure. Ellis makes the sack, but it was pressure by Ware. Now, here's what's going to happen. New England's going to come in with a plan to block DeMarcus Ware. Dallas is going to figure that plan out and try to adjust from there and change up with Ware as the game goes on. That's the game within the game that I'll be watching.
Chess moves to watching the matchup between New England and Dallas. Inside the Game with Charlie Casserly. Thank you very much, Charlie. All right, folks, up next, we'll go around the league and pick some of this weekend's top games. The Texans swept the Jaguars last year, and that's before Houston had quarterback Matt Schaub. Can he help extend the streak today? And Brett Favre turned 38 this week, folks, but will he celebrate against the Redskins' pass defense? That's no piece of cake. The NFL Today continues after this.
Another good thing about Geico is they've got, like, real live people working there 24/7. So, like, say you need to report a claim, right? A real person will be there to help you. Then you can use Geico.com to view photos of the damage, track your claim, print an estimate. You want an English muffin? They literally hand you a toasted muffin with butter and jam. Oh, it's tasty. That's a complete dramatisation, of course, but you get my point.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Crazy, man. Man, you all big time now. I never see you. What? Oh, man, you can see me anytime you want. You give me season tickets? Nah, check it. You get this network, you get football 24/7 on the NFL Network.
Get in the game with Dish Network and get football 24/7 on NFL Network and games 5 nights a week for just $29.99 a month.
Happens everywhere I go.
Want all this football? Get in the game with Dish Network.
Isn't there a faster way you can do this? No.
Doing things faster means waiting less. And with Sprint, you'll wait less to make calls with unlimited calling starting at 7 p.m. instead of 9. For more ways to wait less, go to waitless.org. Now get the new Motor Razor 2 V9M with access to exclusive NFL content from Sprint.
I used to think it didn't matter what deodorant I chose. Dumb. This test shows that Old Spice is the right choice. Take the Old Spice challenge. I did.
On Hallison Landry, there are no refs, just timekeepers. It's time for Campbell's Chunky, hearty soups to feed an NFL-size hunger. Campbell's Chunky, meals that fill you up right.
Learn the secrets of the Guy Code.
What about woman code?
Don't make me laugh.
Just eat your oatmeal.
I see oats, but I don't see a meal.
Thanks for the memo about Tank Top Tuesday.
Don't forget about Thong Thursday.
So Audrey's cool with you going to strip clubs?
She knows that I'm too cheap to really enjoy it.
Rules of Engagement, new episode CBS tomorrow.
Play Sprint Speed Fantasy against the NFL Today for great cash prizes. The guys made their picks this week. Think you can do better? Go to cbssports.com/sprint.
And welcome back to our picks segment live on the NFL Today. Coach Cowher has finally broken through, going 3-0. Can you believe that, Dan, to win it last week?
Slow progress.
Slow, steady
He's
progress.
starting to get the hang of it.
Hey, but check this out now. Season to date, Boomer leads Dan by 2 games and is up by 3
and
on
Shannon's
Bill
in
and
last
Shannon.
place.
Oh, Shannon. All right, look here. The guys know their choices are locked and loaded into our computer. It's time for GMC Defend Your Pick, and we'll begin with the Texans and the Jaguars. Texas wide receiver Andre Johnson out with a knee injury. Running back Amon Green will play for the Jaguars. Running back Fred Taylor has a groin injury, but will start. All right, with this in mind, the guys have selected, and the answers are... Oh, Shannon, defend your pick, buddy.
Coach, you said it earlier. They only have a winning record against one team, and it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. And when I look at David Garrard, you're right. He does not throw the interception, but he takes a lot of sacks, and he takes a lot of hits. That's going to accumulate the ball coming out on the ground. Texans scoop it up. I like the Texans.
I'm getting out of last place, yes.
Hey, think about Jacksonville, though. The last 3 games, they've only given up 10 points a game. And David Garrard, yes, at times he can make some mistakes. But you know what? He's not throwing interceptions, and he understands that just let's play to our defense. Play to our defense, keep us in the game, and win it at the end, which
Three
they've
straight.
been doing lately.
All right, Washington at Green Bay. Let's take a look at this one, folks. For the Redskins, wide receiver Antoine Randall L. Coach Cowher's old guy has a hamstring, but will play. The Packers have won 3 straight against the Redskins. With that information in mind, Washington at Green Bay, and our guys select which team in this one is... Oh, Shannon again.
Hey, defend it.
I'm going to go from last to first. Brett Favre at Lambeau Field, there's nowhere to lose in back-to-back games with that defense. And if Antoine Randall, if he does play, he has that hamstring. You know the Green Bay Packers corner, Charles Wilson, Al Harris, they press coverage.
Right.
I like Green Bay to get it done. With that defense,
Washington's defense is number 3 in the league. Laron Landry, Sean Taylor, I'm telling you, those guys they're back there. They're going to make those receivers pay. They can match up at corners. I'm telling you, I am going to first place this week.
Guarantee you don't be in first place.
Cincinnati at Kansas City is the next one for Cincinnati. Running back Rudy Johnson, a hamstring injury, won't start but will play. Jonathan Joseph, suspended by the league for 1 game for an infraction dating back to January of this year. For Kansas City quarterback Damon Hewitt, we know he will start, but he's got that bruised shoulder. With that information, Cincinnati at Kansas City, and the selections are 2-2. Boomer, defend.
All right, guys, I'm going to just stay in first place. So I don't have to worry about you guys. But you know what? Here's the difference between Cincinnati and Jacksonville. Why do I say there's a difference there? Because Jacksonville was a team that went in and beat Kansas City last week. This week, Larry Johnson is going to be like a flag football game playing against this Cincinnati Bengal defense. I think that they will run and hold the ball and keep it away from Carson Palmer. They will control the line of scrimmage, and they will win this game comfortably.
Well, you know what? As much as they want to run the football, their offensive line has gotten older. They've been banged up at times, and they do want to run Larry Johnson, but Cincinnati scores points. And Kansas City hasn't been able to score points all year. I think the most they've scored in a game is 16. Cincinnati scores points all over the place.
16-14.
And I will say this.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Next week, due to segment 3, Shannon will not be taking any answers to his things. So we'll substitute segment 3 next week, the pick'em section.
He'll be in way less.
Flag football, Boomer. Wow. A reminder for more on the GMC Defensive Player of the Week. Log on to gmc.com/NFL. Coming up, we'll go around the NFL. The Vikings get their quarterback back today. Meanwhile, have the Bears finally found theirs? Plus, Donovan McNabb was sacked 12 times by the Giants. Will he taste as much Meadowlands turf against the Jets today? And Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo is trying to do something that Joe Montana, John Elway, and Peyton Manning could not. We'll tell you what that is when the NFL Today continues live from New York after this.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines' convenient nonstop flights, it's like having your own company plane. Suzuki Automotive and the all-wheel drive SX4 crossover. And by the Comcast Triple Play. Experience TV, phone, and internet together like never before.
The biggest games are decided by the smallest details. That's why Samsung imagined an LCD HD TV with twice the frames per second for exceptional motion clarity. The decision is clear. Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
Every Sunday, this stadium is filled with fans. But Sears can bring the ultimate football experience into your home with big-time savings on Samsung HD TV and home theater products. So make every game a home game, folks. Sears, where it begins.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. Visit GMC.com/NFL and decide who wants it more, and enter for your chance to win tickets to the Super Bowl and the Ultimate Trophy, an Acadia, a Sierra Denali, and a Yukon Denali. For those who want it more, there's professional grade.
The extreme power of Energizer Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
She's driving me crazy. She's still mad at me about this purse thing.
Yeah, me too.
You two what?
But I'm sorry, what?
Are you snurfing?
Why would I be snurfing? This is our time on the phone.
What's the score of the game?
She's tied up. I thought you was tied up.
Snurfer.
Snurfing, made possible by the Comcast Triple Play. Experience TV, phone, and internet together like never before. It's Comcastic.
One detective's career is on the line.
They want my badge. You really think one of us ratted you out to IAD? Why are they coming after me?
A new cold case. Then, is one of Shark's own a killer?
You instructed a forensic pathologist to commit perjury.
Did you know what she was up to? New episodes of Shark and Cold Case, CBS tonight.
The #1 comedy, 2.5 Men, tomorrow on CBS.
You know your job and how to get it done. And you know if a truck doesn't have what it takes you all of a minute to figure it out. Toyota Tundra. It may not be the first truck you look at, but it will be the last. Now you can get 0% financing or cash back up to $3,000 on a new 07 Tundra. Going beyond expectations of some very tough customers. See your Toyota dealer now.
Carl, Monday. Now on 19 Action News.
And welcome back as we continue live here on the CBS program, NFL Today, America's most watched network. It's time now to go around the NFL today. And our first stop is in San Diego, where the Chargers host the Raiders. All right, folks.
Bring it to us, JB.
Dante Culpepper of Dan Marino is coming off of a big performance against his former team, accounting for 5 touchdowns in the Raiders' win over Miami. Oakland has the #1 rushing attack in the NFL, but Lamont Jordan is a game-time decision. Without Jordan, look for Justin Vargas, Huggy Bear, and former coach Dominic Rhodes to carry the ball. The Chargers are hoping they've turned their season around. Phillip Rivers and Michael Turner both had big games in San Diego's 41-3 spanking of Denver at Mile High. Shannon, San Diego has beaten Oakland 7 straight times. Will today be #8?
Well, you know what, JB? Antonio Gates and I have been Wi-Fi-ing all week.
Wi-Fi-ing?
Yeah, Wi-Fi-ing. And I asked him that very question. He said, Shannon, we got this in the bag. Because I think what has happened is that they've stopped blaming North Turner because that was the easy way out. They've started playing better football on both sides of the ball. They've given the ball to LaDainian Tomlinson, and the receivers have started to step up and make plays. So I expect them to go in and take care of business today. 30-13.
Oh, we're picking scores now.
We just see him anyway. The next stop, the Meadowlands, where the Jets host the Eagles. Philadelphia is coming off of a bye, and Donovan McNabb needed rest, Shannon. Why?
Bruce Sternum.
Sacked 12 times will do that in the loss to the Giants. Philadelphia's leading rusher, Brian Westbrook, is back. Meanwhile, the 1-4 Jets are 29th in total offense. Chad Pennington has thrown 5 picks over the last 5 quarters. Thomas Jones will need to pick it up after gaining just 36 yards on 13 carries. That in last week's loss to the Giants. Boomer! The Eagles and Jets were playoff teams last year, but each has only 1 win this season. Who gets #2 today?
Now, we talked about this in the open. Both of these teams are really desperate, especially the Jets, because this is a home game. They're 1-4. Their quarterback is under the gun. When your best player, or you think your best player is, Chad Pennington is making the mistakes that he's making. Today is a very important game for this young man to hold on to his job. As far as the Eagles are concerned, Brian Westbrook is back. L.J. Smith is back. William Thomas, the left tackle, is back. So that will shore up their pass protection. I don't like the matchup for the Jets from an offensive line standpoint or a defensive line standpoint. I think the Philadelphia Eagles win this one. I think they win it comfortably, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 31-17.
Hey, McNabb's 8-0 after a bye. That helps.
It does.
And there's another guy picking the score again. I'm not picking the score of this game.
And the girls that deliver my newspaper have a stronger arm than Chad Pennington. So that doesn't help.
Shannon. On to Chicago, where the Bears host the Vikings. Tavares Jackson, not Fran Tarkenton, returns at quarterback for Minnesota. Kelly Holcomb, in relief, lost both his starts as the Vikings fell to 1-3. Minnesota has the league's stingiest rush defense. That doesn't bode well for the Bears running back Cedric Benson, who is averaging Shannon just 3 yards a carry and has only 2 touchdowns. Last week, behind the improved play of quarterback Brian Greasy, who threw for 2 touchdown passes, Dan, the Bears knocked off the Packers. Chicago linebacker Lance Briggs recorded 16 tackles. Dan, the Bears have beaten the Vikes 6 straight times at Soldier Field. Will today be number 7?
It will be number 7, JB. And there's a reason why Minnesota is number 1 against the run in the league. It's because they get thrown all over. You know, the teams in their secondary, they throw on them, and teams have been doing that all year. And you look at Brian Griese, and the thing I like about what he's doing in Chicago, he's bringing consistency to their passing game. And that's what they're going to do today. They're going to run Cedric Benson some. But as far as making plays in the passing game, they'll be able to do it on Minnesota because they're 30th in the league.
Dan says no score on this one.
No score.
Right. No score.
Yeah.
24-10
24-10, Chicago.
All right, sounds good. Our final stop is in Tejas, Dallas, where later today the Cowboys host the Patriots. You're looking at an overhead view of Texas Stadium provided by our Nike Skycam as the Cowboy cheerleaders are warming up. All right, fellas, we'll move quickly by that one, right? Both Dallas and New England are 5-0. Tom Brady and his Patriots have steamrolled their opponents, but it wasn't that easy last week for the Cowboys. Quarterback Tony Romo played the worst game of his career, and Dallas squeaked by Buffalo. But as Romo tells our Jim Nance, he got past his Monday night nightmare with the full support of his team.
Romo back 5 steps, throws it to the end zone, intercepted. 5 interceptions and a fumble by Romo tonight.
Monday night was one of the all-timers. You talk about the ups and the downs, and that was all in one game. What happened there in the first half?
You know, I'd love to sit here and say, well, this coverage kind of took me here, and then this did this, and this guy kind of rushed it. You know, at the end of the day, I just had a bonehead decision, threw the ball in the wrong spot, missed. My teammates did a phenomenal job of holding on, and I just tried to help them at the end of the game for us to overcome and try and win the game.
One of those teammates, T.O., came over to you during the game. What did he say to you?
He's like, hey, I'm staying with you. I'm with you, you know? And he just got his little southern, come on, let's go. Let's go.
That mean a lot to you at that time? You're struggling?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for players in competition to get to a point of pointing fingers or get to a point of being mad at other people, you know? And our team's not really like that.
When you saw the schedule come out, and there it was, week 6, New England at Dallas, did you understand at that point how big this one could be?
You know, the neat thing about this one is that both teams are undefeated. We get to go against a team that's had so much success in recent history and, you know, in some ways get to see, you know, if we got a chance.
I've got some Hall of Fame quarterbacks for you. Montana, Marino, Manning, and Elway. Those 4, the first time they went against a Belichick team, sometimes now we're talking about Belichick as a coordinator, 0-4, no touchdown passes, 7 interceptions.
You're obviously not making me feel any better going into the game, so I appreciate that.
But here's one thing I am going to tell America right now. You've gone above and beyond what those 4 did. Because you prepared for this by reading some of his books, which could be the X factor.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't go out and get him this week or anything, but, you know, just in the past, you just want to read, you know, great coaches, and I think he tries to think like the quarterback thinks. I think he wants to say, what does this quarterback do to allow himself to have success? You know, and if this quarterback has tendencies to do this or this, he'll try and take those away.
Any special guests going to be there for you on Sunday? I know you told me one.
Who did I tell you?
Your mom.
Yeah, she will be there. My mom and dad will both be there, so that'll be fun.
How's your dad?
He's doing good. You know, he just you know, got diagnosed with, you know, cancer. It's funny because you have a picture of your father, you know, and my dad's a really strong individual, and, you know, it's interesting when you think about a moment of weakness, you know, with them, and you know, he doesn't want any sympathy. I know that, you know, he just, hey, it's part of life, you know, kind of thing and all that, and, you know, it's partly why you love him, but at the same point, you hope he gets through it.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
What is it like being the man for the Dallas Cowboys now?
I don't know. I don't ever sit here and think about it in the third person and be like, wow, look at how this is all happening to me. I mean, you just learn and you move on, and you enjoy life and all the things it throws at you.
It was a remarkably and refreshingly candid Tony Romo talking with Jim Nance. All right, folks, and this afternoon's game between the Patriots and the Cowboys is the subject of our NFL Today Chalk Talk presented by McDonald's, and we begin with the coach, Bill Cowher.
Well, JB, I think when you look at this game, there's 4 areas I think that we should really look at and maybe examine. I think the first area you're going to talk about is going to be talking about the matchup situation. You're going to see right here that the Dallas with Stallworth and Moss on the outside, Watson and Welker inside with Morris. This creates matchup issues for the Dallas Cowboys who won't have Anthony Henry. I think the second element that you're going to have to look at is going to be Tom Brady. You've got to get pressure. You can't let him step up into the pocket. Watch the left defensive end. I'm going to tell them in this game, you don't have contain. We need to break down the pocket. We've got to flush him out of the pocket and make him then be uncomfortable. You're going to see here, he's not as effective throwing the ball. You know, from the other side of it, we just told Tony Romo, he talked about his shirt being uncharted waters. Well, this game will be in uncharted waters, and he's got to be very careful that he doesn't get careless with his eyes. New England can disguise coverages. New England does a great job of hiding things. Tony Romo in the red zone, hit the check down. Be careful. They cannot turn the football over in this football game to have a chance against New England. And the best way of taking care of that is shorten the game, Dallas. Hand the ball off. As you can see, Marion Barber right here. You have a great 2-back tandem with him and Julius Jones. They have an opportunity to get this game into the fourth quarter where the fans stay in it. And again, they have a multi-dimensional offense, and I think they got to utilize all elements of it.
Well, Coach, you know, the one thing I think in this game, yes, they're going to have to run the football, and I think the key is going to be, is Tony Romo going to be patient enough to do that? Because, you know, when you think about the New England Patriots, they're a fast-starting offense. Tom Brady, they've scored 44 points in the first quarter of games this year. So you know you're going to have to match them what they do as far as scoring points and big plays. So I think the key to Jason Garrett and Tony Romo is be patient and, yes, stick with the running game. Don't force it down the field. And then hopefully at the end of the game you have a chance to win.
You know, Charlie Casserly was talking about the game within the game with DeMarcus Ware, but the real game within the game is between the two number 81s on both sides of the field, Terrell Owens and Randy Moss. This is the fourth time these two guys will share the field together. Who can ever forget the first time these two guys? You remember this little ditty? Terrell Owens going after Greg Knapp, the San Francisco 49er offense coordinator. You know why he was doing that, guys? Because Randy Moss was having a hell of a game for the Minnesota Vikings on the same field. So I think if you're Bill Belichick, do you go into this game saying, you know what, if we really want to get underneath the skin of one Terrell Owens, do we get Randy Moss started early and often and let him be the superstar at the beginning of this game to kind of take Terrell out of his game? I know that's taking it to another level, but I would not be surprised if Belichick does that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did that very thing you're talking about, Boomer. And that's all you guys mentioned. There's a spread formation coach. And what I'm looking at is the matchup, not Stallworth and Randy Moss. I'm looking at Ben Watson versus those linebackers. You look at the DeMarcus Ware, Anthony Smith, and Greg Ellis. Those are rush guys. Wade Phillips wants to rush his guys. He doesn't want to drop these guys off in coverage. But I'm also thinking about an unsung guy, Kevin Falk versus Brady James. He's more your guy that you put in. He doesn't run the ball as effective as Morris, but he's a much better pass receiver out of the backfield than Morris. Those are the matchups that I think that they can take advantage of. Ben Watson on Roy Williams. Yes! Smell the deodorant, Dallas.
Hey, real quickly, would you want to get inside Terrell Owens' head like Boomer mentioned?
Oh, they'll be doing everything they can. No question.
Everybody with New England?
Yes, everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
Nobody with Dallas?
No.
All right.
Who Roy Williams play for? Who Roy Williams play for?
Dallas.
I'm with the other team. Good!
Stay with us. Quick hits are next on the NFL Today. The Patriots and Cowboys battle today, but will they survive to meet in the desert this February? Plus, Coach Coward knows defense. Now he'll tell us who has the league's best offense. And head coach Mike Nolan asked his players to send him ideas on improving the 49ers. Wait until you hear Shannon's suggestions. We'll be back live from New York right after this.
Are our cars as much fun as our bikes?
You've reached your destination.
Get out. Turn around.
Enjoy the ride.
The new 2008 XL7 from Suzuki. It's going to be a great ride.
Monopoly's back at McDonald's.
All right, y'all, here's the plan. Son, I need you to go 2 blocks, shake left, then hit the McDonald's on the right. Got it? Gotcha. Baby girl, I need you to run a double arch route.
People all over have started their game plan with almost $200 million in cash and prizes and a guaranteed bonus piece on large fries and other favorites. Game's on.
Honey, you go deep. I'm talking McDonald's downtown.
Hey, what about me?
Take your hat off to a legend, son.
aboard the Marines.
There are many ifs in your family's life. If your kids can go onward and upward no matter what. If you get sidelined from work. Ensuring your family's ifs can be hard to figure out. So MetLife removed the guesswork. By packaging the insurances families need most, term life and disability, we've created a comfortable safety net that's filled with promises and bursting with guarantees for the if in life. Call for this surprisingly affordable insurance package from MetLife.
Yeah, Coach, part of the Coors Light Frost brewing process occurs at 34 degrees. Does that give it an edge over other beers?
You know, if you can get up to 33, or certainly 34, then you are substantially ahead of your opponent.
Coach, don't you mean down to 33 or 34 degrees?
Frost brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, this guy's taking all our Coors Light, and we don't know how to stop him.
If you don't have a guy on him, he'll hurt you bad. I mean, real bad.
I'm on him.
Today's CBS Sports broadcast is being shot on Sony HD cameras. So when you watch the game at home on your Sony Bravia HD TV, you're watching it the same way a CBS cameraman does. On a Sony. High definition. It's in Sony's DNA.
What are you doing, Ripley?
I'm living the dream, Jonesy. I'm living the dream.
Viva Laughlin, series premiere Thursday after CSI.
And welcome back live to the NFL Today, where it's time now for quick hits, and the guys know that they only buzz in when they disagree. Let's get started with the coach. Coach, will Dallas and New England meet again in Super Bowl 42?
Well, I'm going to go back to week 1 when I made the prediction then. It was New England, Seattle. No, I'm not jumping ship. I'm sticking with it. New England, Seattle in the Super Bowl. This will not be a rematch.
No, the Booms.
You know what? I have to tell you differently. I now think that the Dallas Cowboys are clearly the class of the NFC, and they will be in Phoenix against the New England Patriots.
Too early.
Too early still? All right, says Coach. All right, let's move to the Hall of Famer.
What about
Tom Brady is on pace to throw 51 touchdown passes. Will he break Peyton Manning's single-season record of 49?
Well, I'm going to say because New England has to keep pace with Indianapolis, and Indianapolis has to keep pace with New England for the home field advantage. And I think that's going to be a key factor. How long at the end of the year does Tom Brady play? Well, I think he will get to 49. I think he's going to get close, maybe not get to 49, but very close. But the reason being is because they're going to be going after home field advantage.
Nobody's disagreeing with that. Nobody's agreeing. All right, let's go to Coach Cowher. Hey, Coach, which team's offense is better, the Colts or the Patriots?
Well, I think you look at them, and I think it's interesting because I think New England, I would say New England because they're more diverse, but now the more I'm watching them, are they becoming a more like an Indianapolis Colts team? The three wides, the spread formations. I'm going to say New England because I think they can still run the football. They give you a lot more things to prepare for, more so than Indianapolis.
Shannon,
he just wants a buzz.
You just want to buzz me.
No, I got to disagree with that. How can Indy lose? They won the Super Bowl, and Joseph Adai is playing better, and now you get Anthony Gonzalez to work the slot when Brandon Stokely did that a couple years ago, and they had 3 receivers, 1,000 yards, and double-digit touchdowns.
They won the Super Bowl because they played at home. Home field advantage is huge in this conference.
Okay, all right, with that in mind, we're going to go finish up with Shannon. Shannon, a final quick hit for you.
Yes.
During San Francisco's bye this week, head coach Mike Nolan asked the players to fill out suggestions anonymously on cards. Shannon, what would you write on your card?
It was funny that you asked that, JB, because Eric Mann asked, for some suggestions.
Eric Mann?
Yes. What can we do to make this show better?
Right.
And so here's my first suggestion right here.
What can I...
How about this one right here?
When can I get my own TV segment, okay?
And these two go hand in hand, ladies and gentlemen.
When can I get Saturday off and a raise in per diem? Shannon, the per diem.
What happened here?
That doesn't cover it for breakfast now?
No. $6 for breakfast.
I'm with him.
The suggestion is go call Joe Montana.
We'll take you first on the field next.
You have been assigned middle, seat 34E.
Can I get an aisle seat?
No, Mr. High Maintenance. You may not have an aisle seat.
There are no others.
No.
There are no
Seat.
There are no. Well, how about a window?
How about no?
But I was told.
I'm sorry, but I think you have me confused with an airline that cares.
Want more freedom to sit where you like?
Next.
Fly Southwest Airlines and experience the freedom of open seating.
You are now free to move about the country.
They use it to shoot the game. They use it to broadcast the game. They use it to produce the game.
The main man on the field today is Peyton Manning.
So why wouldn't you use it to watch the game?
It's Peyton Manning.
Nice Sony. Scoot over a bit, will you?
Nothing compares to a Sony Bravia HD TV because high definition is in our DNA.
Anybody got any chips?
Watch out, Fridays. This is one of those tucking in the napkin, ordering a drink before my jeans even hit the booth kind of nights. So let's jar my taste buds out of hibernation with something I've never tried before. Something with one or preferably more of the following adjectives: fire grilled, crusted, marinated, glazed. 3 courses totally up to me for just $12.99. Friday's 3-course menu is back, and so am I. Give me more Fridays.
Did you know 1 in 4 men worry about excessive sweating? That's why there's Degree Men Clinical Protection. It's prescription strength protection, making it 3 times more effective than what's required. Its tri-solid technology fights excess perspiration.
Yeah.
Degree Men Clinical Protection. It won't let you down.
We need more customers. So, what? Advertise?
Ask the ad guru. Yellowbook.com. Customers know what they want, not always where to find it.
Excellent. Yellow Book.
Business is off the charts.
Wherever you look, Yellow Book.
Still have the wind damage to your house on your mind? One call to Farmers Help Point could fix that. Farmers Help Point. Sanity makes a comeback.
It's crazy what you can do on your phone these days. Check this out.
You can make toast with your phone?
Now you can track your fantasy team on the go with NFL Mobile, available only from Sprint. It might not make toast, but it's still pretty cool.
Watch this.
Did you see that?
The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines.
And welcome back to the NFL Today, where Coors Light takes you first on the field. Later this afternoon, most of you will see the Patriots taking on the Cowboys, but right now, it's the Dolphins against the Browns. Let's head out to Cleveland, where Ian Eagle and Solomon Wilcots are standing by. Gentlemen.
It's week 6 in the NFL. The Miami Dolphins still looking for their first win. They take on a much improved Browns team from Cleveland here today. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. It was a frightening scene last week in Houston. Trent Green, the veteran quarterback, took a knee to the helmet, suffered his second major concussion over the last 13 months. Green did make the trip here today with his teammates. He will be reevaluated tomorrow, but he's inactive today. His future as a player is up in the air. So the keys to the offense, Solomon, for Miami, handed over to Cleo Lemon.
Yeah, Cleo Lemon will get his second career start here today. Have to go back to the season finale last year. In his first career start, what we did see was a strong arm, a very quick release. He has the mobility to break down the defense. He has experience in this offense that he hopes will serve him well here today.
Well, we sat down with a former San Diego Charger, and he told us he is ready for his close-up.
I think it helped me out a lot, you know, to see guys prepare like Doug Flutie and Drew Brees, you know, true professionals, you know, and it kind of helped me out in a way, and it kind of gave me a roadmap. So, you know, I kind of followed those guys and kind of, you know, I was like a sponge, you know, soaked all that knowledge up that I could, and, you know, hopefully it will help me out.
Well, if you want to take some pressure off Cleo Lemon, just get the ball in the hands of Ronnie Brown. He's been on fire as of the last 3 ball games. Second player in team history to post 100 yards rushing in 3 consecutive games. His ability to run it and catch it, boy, it makes him a weapon in the Dolphins offense.
And that ability has put him at the top of the leaderboard among total yards from scrimmage in the NFL. Ronnie Brown right now is probably the closest thing to LaDainian Tomlinson, maybe even closer than LT himself, and it leads to our Solomon film review for this week, and specifically coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, you have to be able to defend the screenplay. If Ronnie Brown comes out of the backfield, you better be ready. I think the key is to read the 3 interior offensive linemen. If Ronnie Brown runs across the formation, you know it's a screenplay, and you better come screaming very quickly if you're the Cleveland Browns linebackers. This is a play they're going to see today, and so if Ronnie Brown runs across the formation, you know it's a screenplay. Their ability to read, react, and recover have to be able to tackle Ronnie Brown. You allow him to get to the second level, he'll gas your secondary.
Well, the Cleveland Browns have their bye week coming up. This is a golden opportunity for Romeo Crennel's team to get to the 500 mark, start feeling good about themselves as they take a break from the field. They're going to have to do it, though, today without their leading running back, Jamal Lewis, who's out with an injured foot.
Yeah, and playing in his stead will be Jason Wright. Jason Wright is a guy that gives you a little bit of a different flavor. His quickness and speed on the edge is where he wants to attack. He's not a guy that's going to run in between the tackles, but if he can get to the edge, he has the speed to take it to the house.
And right now, there's no quarterback controversy here in Cleveland for now. Derek Anderson, of course, the rookie out of Notre Dame, Brady Quinn. Why Anderson over Quinn at this moment?
I can give you 3 reasons why the Browns have chosen Derek Anderson over Brady Quinn. One is his accuracy and arm strength. He really has earned the respect of his coaches and teammates here with the Cleveland Browns. And then he has a ready-made chemistry with the weapons. Braylon Edwards, Kellen Winslow, Joe Jaravicious knows how to get them the ball. And then his experience has led to production. Go back to week 2. 5 touchdown passes against the Cincinnati Bengals.
And he's getting excellent protection from the offensive line, especially on that left side. The changes that Cleveland made, Eric Steinbach from Cincinnati, Joe Thomas, the first-round pick from Wisconsin, both doing tremendous work on that left side of the line. Right now, let's take a look at today's game points.
Well, I think the Browns need early points to protect the run defense. And then Cleo cannot be a limit. He's got to go out and make some plays. And then Ronnie Brown, he has to get it done. He'll spell victory or demise for either team based off his production.
We've got all the action coming up from Cleveland. The Browns hosting the Miami Dolphins. This is the NFL on CBS.
He's America's most popular preacher. So what makes all those people flock to him? 60 Minutes tonight.
Jimmy Smith stars in Kane. Tuesdays on CBS.
Getting the signal you want at the speed of light.
Hello?
That's Sprint Speed. Try it for 30 days and get phenomenal coverage in Cleveland. Guaranteed.
Good news, Ohio. Progressive lowered car insurance rates in our state. Here's why. Okay, this represents the number of accidents in our state. And this is Progressive's rates. Number of accidents has gone down. As a result, Progressive has lowered our rates. And that means a little extra money for a rainy day.
Hey, Ohio, to see how much you could save, go to Progressive.com or call a local independent agent. Click or call today.
Ford Edge, the hot new crossover with a Vista roof that gives you a better view of everything.
The minute that I hop into the car, I like to just open it up.
Find your edge with a vehicle that delivers style and performance with unbelievable power.
The Ford Edge is sportier looking. It has a younger feel to it.
Lease an 08 Edge for just $289 a month and we'll waive your first month's payment. The Ford Edge, only at your local Ford store.
Hello, banker. Good deal. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to tell you about the Ohio Lottery Deal or No Deal Instant Game with 2 ways to win up to $1 million, including a chance to win a trip to Hollywood to play Deal or No Deal with me, the banker, and all the models for up to $1 million. This is the ultimate game for everyone.
Play the Ohio State Lottery's new Deal or No Deal Instant Game. Take a chance for education. Odds are you'll have fun.
You know your job and how to get it done. And you know if a truck doesn't have what it takes you all of a minute to figure it out. Toyota Tundra. It may not be the first truck you look at, but it will be the last. Now you can get 0% financing or cash back up to $3,000 on a new 07 Tundra. Going beyond expectations of some very tough customers. See your Toyota dealer now.
Tiffany Tucker, now on 19 Action News this morning.